Oh, gosh. Anyway, DJ, did you see the news today that Tom Brady is going to get number 12? Chris Godwin's going to get it from him. I don't know if there was any cash exchanged.
No, they
but
already
DJ,
came out.
I gotta ask you though, quick, DJ. If someone wanted the Loaded Box podcast name, how many beers would it take to get someone to take that from you and us?
I mean, if I was desperate, probably just take one.
Just one?
I mean, it depends on how desperate I am. How am I drinking for a while and I really need a beer and I'm out of money?
Dude, my theory on this is if someone could pay me the number of beers that I've had while I've been stuck in quarantine, I'd probably just make the deal on it. I don't know about you, but all I know is we have a couple of guests waiting. They're waiting to drink, so let's crack our beers and let's get loaded because this is the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first because we finished last, and now I'm double fisting.
Oh, DJ's double fisting. It's the Loaded Box Podcast. That's what we do. But welcome back. I'm excited for this one. I literally want to just cut to the chase already because of what we have going on right here. And can everyone hear me first and foremost?
John, you can talk now.
Yeah, you sound good, man.
I was kind of waiting just
All
to
right,
see
Zach,
if we just let Ben kind of see, just let it go silent for a while.
Jesus Christ.
Just die on this little hill here. Yes. So what I really want to discuss here is because we literally, like from our history as a podcast, you guys know this, we can't do things normal. So we had to put a spin on our 2020 NFL mock draft episode. So we gathered Zach Patraw of the Dynasty Draft Room. We got John Chapman of the 49ers Rush podcast. They're going to help us mock the first 32 picks of this year's draft. But the catch is that the selector has to pick between one of the three players that the rest of the guys on this podcast have nominated for that particular selection. So we've had both of these guests on for NFL draft positional preview episodes already this offseason. Zach previewed edge rushers with us. John previewed wide receivers with us. It was so great we had to do it twice, so make sure you go back and listen to those. But to our knowledge, the two of these guys have never really personally met or had like a ton of interaction. But DJ, didn't you say that John was telling you something about Zach?
Yeah, John and I were talking before this, Zach, and he was talking about how pathetic and bad that Vikings franchise is. That the Niners could bring in Kirk Cousins and actually make him a winner. Like, what's your response to that?
You need to pump those brakes, DJ.
I don't believe a word that comes out of DJ's mouth, so I know that's all straight from him.
Just saying, man.
You watch yourself, Matt. Yeah, Madison's not too far away here.
I'm not scared of anybody. I've got guns and shit.
I like how they both already are just calling your BS at the same exact time in unison. We're all going from different parts of the country. They both said, you better watch yourself. That was fantastic.
They don't know who they're fucking with.
Oh, my gosh. Well, boys, we have 32 picks to make. I'm looking forward to this. We're recording on Skype for the first time, so I'm pumped about that. I've got just a plethora of beers in front of me because I have headphones in and I don't want to get up. The thing I'm most worried about is having to take piss breaks. So if we have to do it, man, someone's just got to get up and go. But with that, I think I am first. I'm first on the clock with the Bengals pick. So let's start the nominations off with Zach, then John, then DJ.
All right. Well, I don't want to make it just like a layup for you. So I'm gonna put. Oh gosh, I had two in mind. I'm gonna do Tua though.
All right, we got Tua. John, who's your nomination?
I'm going to let DJ have the opportunity to throw this off the rails early.
No,
I'm going to nominate Chase Young.
Holy shit.
Okay, I won't even allow this. I literally won't even allow this.
I can't. I think we'd be doing a disservice to the podcast and to the mock draft if I don't do the right thing, and I will give you an option to get Joe Burrow.
Very nice.
Okay, thank God for someone doing that because I already had it filled in the Google Doc that we're all utilizing right now. So, yes, with the first pick, me as the Bengals, I'm taking Joe Burrow. Don't need to go into too much detail here. It's a slam dunk. I think we all know that it's going down. So with that, Zach, you are on the clock with the Redskins. John, who is your nomination for this pick?
Yeah, this is a rough one. The best player in the draft is still there, Chase Young, but I still think quarterback's in play at this pick. But Chase Young definitely has to be in the mix. That's my nomination.
Perfect.
DJ.
I am going to go, and this is who I'm mocking right now for their second pick. I'm going to give you Tua again, or give Zach Tua, I guess.
Okay, so we've got a Chase Young, we've got Tua, and I'll throw a little wild card because I think you're going to end up taking one of those two, but I will throw in Isaiah Simmons.
I like that. Three very good players, and I mean I think they're definitely all in play here. Whoever the Redskins want, from what it sounds like, the Redskins think they got their franchise guy in Dwayne Haskins. From what I saw today, and a little news clip in there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take Chase Young here.
Chase Young is the pick for number 2 at the Redskins. Number 3 here, John, you are on the clock. DJ, you are the first player nomination.
I will go with the obvious one that I think tons of people have mocked here. I'm going to go with Jeff Okudah.
I am next. You know what? I'm going to throw it out there just because I want to have the wrinkle out there. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to draft Tua Tagovailoa if you would like him.
Hey,
Zach.
I kind of like this pick here. I'm going to go Derek Brown.
Nice.
Man, I like you, Zach. You're a good man. Here's the deal. Yeah, and sorry, I'm a talker. I apologize. You guys know this.
That's fine.
But they go out and they sign and they pay good money for Desmond Trufant. They have Arue on the other side. They're definitely not bad corners. I don't think anybody's there in Okudah's level, but I definitely just do not see this pick going to Okudah, whether through trade or something along those lines. I think that they're going to stay with Stafford. But, man, I love Derek Brown. He is a top 4 player on my board. It is a huge position of need, and that's where I'm going. So we're taking a sharp turn right off the bat.
Like
going Derek Brown,
like
pick 3 to the Detroit Lions.
I love it, man.
I like it, and one of the reasons I like that pick is because I've done 4 mocks now, and I always feel like I'm putting Derek Brown too low. So seeing him at number 3 is definitely the highest in any mock draft that I've been a part of. So I like it. I like that we're taking a little bit of a turn right here.
And, also, if you look last year, this was the same order for the top 3. It went quarterback, edge, interior guy, and Quentin Williams. And so you're kind of seeing it play out again.
John, I love the insight. You also said, since we were recording a little bit later than what you typically do on Loaded Box, that you thought you might be a little too loaded to participate. How was your drinking throughout the day? Are you doing okay so far?
I ran out of beer, and so I have Reposado tequila on the rocks in a 20-ounce straw cup. So Ben and DJ, you get to see. I guess Zach can as well. But, yeah, I'm doing well, man. It's going to be strong. We'll see. Around pick 16 is going to get crazy.
Near.
I was just going to say, over-under for you making it is pick 10 right now.
There you go.
Where are we at?
Great. And, Zach, we might as well get a drinking update from you as well. You just put the kids to bed. Are you indulging yet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I cracked the beers right when I got off the clock there, so I've definitely been having a couple. I got the vodka diets flowing right now, though.
What I don't understand is
you guys went a little harder than me and DJ.
why are you putting the kids to bed? Your wife's home. That's her job, isn't it?
Oh my God.
We split duties. That's what you do.
Gotcha. I make my.
Let me teach you how to be a husband, DJ.
No chance.
You mean to tell me I have to put them to bed too?
Yeah,
I'm out.
Next pick,
brutal. My wife is upstairs literally right now making this happen. So props to her for letting us mock draft. Hey, looks like DJ, you're on the board for the first time here. You're with the Giants. Oh, gosh. You're with the Giants, and I get to make the first nomination. The Giants, man, they can go anywhere with this pick. They can legit go anywhere. I want to throw a boring pick out to you. I'm going to throw out let's throw out Jedrick Wills. I think the next to throw out a nomination is Zach.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go Isaiah Simmons here.
Ooh, and John, who's your final nomination for DJ?
Man, I like both these picks, and I don't want to throw another offensive tackle, even though I have Wirfs as my number one tackle. I think the fans, they want a little bit of a debate here. Jerry Jeudy, he's going to be, every single team's going to consider him until he's off the clock. I think this might be a little too early, but I mean, if you want to put that guy in that system, it works. So I'm going to nominate Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama.
Holy shit! I like that. I think this is a spot.
I thought, John, I thought you were going to go Becton. I was like, oh man, I think if I was picking for the Giants, I think they're going to go Becton here.
They like those big dudes, man.
They love those big dudes.
Who doesn't?
Jesus Christ! I think this is a spot where I can see. I don't know. I could see a trade opportunity for the Giants to get more capital for them to add at different spots. But out of those options, I have Wills, I have Simmons, and I have Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to go. I feel like they need to continue to add protection for Daniel Jones. I'm going to go with Jedrick Wills here.
Jedrick Wills.
That's the pick.
I like it. That puts me on the clock. And by the way, this was totally random. I'm not picking for the Dolphins just because I'm a fan. I swear, this was totally random. Mm-hmm. So with that, Dolphins are on the clock.
I didn't know they still had fans. That's awesome.
All right, I say us three. We got to make a rule. We cannot put Tua on the clock here.
No Tua.
No Tua.
You have to be Tua. I get one. Do you guys even need to nominate players right now, or can I just put them on the board?
Let's go through the charade. We'll allow.
All right,
it.
Zach, nomination.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not just going to sit here and give you a layup. So I'm going to put Mekhi Becton on the clock here for you.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jeffrey Okudah. Yeah.
And DJ, that means you're going to do Tua for me?
I'm going to go Justin Herbert.
Oh, dang.
All right, well, I'm going to go Tua Tagovailoa.
That wasn't an option. That breaks the whole rules.
No, I think Tua's got to be the guy there. I really believe that. But there are rumors that the Dolphins came out today and are asking what it would cost to trade up to number 1 overall. And so that conversation has started between the Dolphins and the Bengals. That's the rumor, at least, from a couple credible sources, actually.
Well, the funny thing is that article was published on March 9th. For some reason, it just started getting traction today, which is March 31st. So it's funny because it's Armando Salguero, one of the beat writers for the Dolphins, he literally retweeted it and said, apparently this article that I wrote on March 9th is just becoming popular today. So it's been a thing that's been out there. I mean, that's going to take a whole new spin. If they go to number 1, then they take Burrow. But I think John, you bailed me out and you switched your pick to Tua. Is that what you just did there for me?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa then as the next signal caller for the Dolphins. They're in this position because they wanted a franchise quarterback. The problem is they didn't suck enough. So they have all these assets. They've got 3 first-rounders this year. They got 2 second-rounders this year. They got 2 first-rounders next year. But they just couldn't quite put everything together. So whether or not they get Tua, who knows? But I almost think at this point they're guaranteed either Burrow, Tua, or Herbert. And obviously with Tua on the clock here, I think it has to happen. So let's move on to Zach, who's now picking for the Chargers. John, you get to make the first nomination.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure Tyrod Taylor is the long-term answer. And I actually believe the Chargers have a very deep roster. They do have some holes, but there's a lot of talent there. And so if you get a signal caller that can kind of push them over the top, who that's going to be, I think it's down between Jordan Love and Herbert. So I'm going to nominate Jordan Love. I think teams are going to like him a lot more than fans are. I'm going Jordan Love here.
Love. DJ, you're the next nomination.
I am going to, I want to go back at the quarterback route because I feel like I have to get that as an option. Like he said, Tyrod Taylor's obviously not the long-term plan. I want to go offensive line, but it's more fun to give give Zach a couple of quarterback options. So I'm going to go with Herbert again.
Okay, and since you did that, obviously that's who I was going to take, and we still have Mekhi Becton in case they want to go Tyrod Taylor, so I'll put Mekhi Becton out there.
Oh, man, you guys got to do me like that, huh?
You get the options, man.
No, here's the thing. totally agree with what John and DJ both said, that Tyrod is definitely not the long-term option. I mean, he's that guy that you're just hoping gets you through a few games and let the rookie get a little, experience under his belt, and then you throw him in weeks 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, and let him start the rest of the year. But damn, dude, this offensive tackle situation in Los Angeles is not good. They got Brian Bulaga to play the left side. They need someone to play the right side, but Kai Becton played plenty of right tackle in college. Dude, give me Becton. They're gonna go quarterback next year.
Wow.
And I will say this too. It's probably one of the first times where we have more quarterbacks than teams that need quarterbacks through free agency and the draft. Like Cam Newton, Jameis Winston just sitting out there right now. Right. I can never remember a time where it was like this.
Right. Yeah, I can't either. And the other thing is too, I mean, you got guys like, Brock Purdy, and we all know Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, guys that next year, and then there's going to be more that come up and surprise you. Obviously there's going to be some that disappoint too, but I really think the quarterback class next year is going to be really good.
Yeah. I think we should start. Go ahead, DJ.
Do we actually think, is Bulaga going to be the left tackle at San Diego? I haven't paid that close attention.
San Diego, I know that's for sure.
I mean, Los Angeles.
They traded away Okung, so that's kind of where their hole is now.
God, I don't think that makes a lot of sense to me, but that's fine.
Chargers don't do a lot of things that make sense.
I mean, he's great for the right tackle spot, but he makes me nervous at the left tackle position.
Not that it's official or nothing, but on our lads, they got Bulaga at left tackle.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
I also at home here want to start keeping score as to who gets most of their nominations, because I just limped in there with Mekhi Becton and got picked, so I feel pretty confident right now.
That changes the game, my friend.
That does change the game, especially right now.
Are you keeping track?
Well, I can. Someone's keeping track on our Google Doc.
I'm on it right now. I forget the other ones.
I like it. Well, that changes the game.
I like it.
Where this draft is going, because right now we've got the Panthers on the clock, who just basically got Teddy Bridgewater for a 3-year deal, but now they're on the clock, and Justin Herbert's still there. So John's pick, DJ, you get to go first with your nomination.
Fuck. Carolina desperately needs to shore up the secondary. So
You're just oozing confidence right now.
I'm not having troubles. It's not yet. I mean, once we get to like pick 15, then I'm fucked. But
so Johnny's been drinking.
I'm going to go with Jeff Okudah because they struggle in that secondary, and they need to add a cornerback who can cover. And this is the best guy I think out there right now.
Oh my gosh! All right, who's next? I'm next. God, I had a guy that I wanted to throw out here, but I want to throw a wrinkle into this. No, I don't. My nomination is gonna be Isaiah Simmons. Who's your nomination?
That makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, I had to do it.
That makes sense.
I had to do it.
Well, I might as well just pick like I might as well just pick like a.
You have no hope.
Like I know. I might as well pick like Cesar Ruiz or something like something that's not gonna happen. You know what? I will pick. Oh gosh, let me pick Leki Fotu, interior defensive lineman from Utah.
Dude, I like that guy. Did you see his workout video today?
I did, man. He's a beast.
Now, so I mean that's the thing. You get to the pick 7, which you could still get a premium guy. Okudah and Simmons, both top 4 talents. There is no way if Isaiah Simmons is there, this is the lowest he can fall. Yeah. Obviously, with the unexpected retirement of Kuechly, you go back to Matt Rule when he was at Baylor or Temple. He loves the linebackers hybrid role everywhere he's been. This is best case scenario for the Carolina Panthers. Isaiah Simmons.
Bang, another one on the board. That's number 3 for me. Love it, John.
Congrats, dude. I don't know why you were so happy about that.
I would have 3 right now, too, if I would not want to give you those stupid layups there, Ben. I skipped the Joe Burrow and Tua. Wow.
Hey.
I really picked myself now.
Zach, I don't make the rules. Come on, I don't make the rules around here.
Ben likes to take a win wherever he gets it.
He does, man.
You guys are going to make me cry by the end of this. DJ,
yeah, you notice he came up with that idea after he got 2 in a row. Like, oh man, I got a shot. Let's do this.
It was magical.
Thanks for catching on to my game.
Switch chairs, guys.
Yeah, that a boy. This is your pick too, DJ. So
All
you're
right,
playing musical chairs, and you're about to have three options for the Arizona Cardinals on the board with the number 8 pick. The game has changed since since they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to give you Jeff Okuda is still there. I'm going to throw him out there just as an option for you.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not going to put CeeDee Lamb out there like you said. DeAndre Hopkins is already there, and I'll tell you something, that was never going to be the pick anyway. But I am going to go with Tristan Wirfs here.
Yeah.
Damn you.
That was John's nomination. John, do you have a backup plan?
Yeah, they're hurting. That defense is really, really bad. Now you have, a player of the year candidate in the edge guy, Chandler Jones, but that is definitely not enough. So I'm going to swing for the fences here, and I think this is a perfect fit with what they do. Javon Kinlaw, this is a little early for him, but he is a perfect fit for what they do on defense.
My favorite thing about John is he will not only will he give you a pick, he will try to talk you into taking his pick, and none of us are really doing that. And it's awesome because now it's turned into a thing where we're gonna make you fucking take this pick. So he's gonna do like a political debate against everybody.
I don't care, man. I don't care.
I'm very vocal about how bad I know and we all know the Arizona Cardinals offensive line has been. I don't think that Murray is going to be successful if they don't add at the offensive line. I think you have to continue to protect Kyler Murray if you don't want him to be a bust. If you're what the fuck is the coach's name? Whatever.
Kingsbury.
Yes, Cliff Kingsbury. If you're Cliff Kingsbury, you want to make him look good. So I think you have to go with Tristan Wirfs here.
All right. Yeah, we all saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to this next pick, by the way. Number 9 is the Jaguars. I'm nervous for this. Zach, you get to lead it off.
Oh man, maybe I do give you a layup here and give you Jeff Okuda. I mean, that's just give you the Jalen Ramsey replacement there. I mean, I think it is, but we'll see what you guys come up with.
All right, so that was Zach. Next one comes from John.
What a jerk. I'm going to go edge player. They just lost. They traded away freaking the beast Calais Campbell for a 5th. I'm going Kayvon Chasen, edge kind of hybrid guy out of LSU.
All right, I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in it. I was going to go the wide receiver position, but Gardner Minshew is not the answer on this team, so I'm going to go with Herbert again. I'm going to keep throwing it out there.
That's funny, and I already actually wrote Zach in because I thought it was a layup, and now I'm like, oh my god, I like all 3 of those. I legit do. However, I do have in another computer next to me. I have my personal mock draft up, and I do have Jeff Okuda falling to number 9 to Jacksonville, and I agree. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey. At a certain point, you know that they're going to bring a guy in. They didn't make any splash free agent moves. I think when you're looking at a guy like Jeff Okuda, when he can legit go as early as number 3, and he's falling down to number 9, remember the Jaguars actually have ammo here. I think they also picked number 20. If they really want this guy, they might even be able to package something and move up early for him. But with him there sitting at 9, Zach, you're going to go back-to-back here because I'm going to go Jeff Okuda.
I got some ground to make up after I skipped the Burrow and Tua pick, so it's game on now, boys.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't even know you were playing from behind, but you were. Well, you're not going to get 3 in a row here because it's your pick. You are the Browns. John gets to lead you off.
John, there's one correct answer here.
I don't think I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give you the right answer. You just might have the wrong answer key, is what I'm saying. They need more offensive line help for sure, and a perfect pairing for this team. Why not pair up one of the best running backs in the league with his college teammate, Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle out of Georgia?
All right, game over. All right, that's it. Move on to the next pick.
Oh, my man, Zach.
All right, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm glad
DJ, just tickle him
for the next pick.
For the sake of tickling him. Are we just going to put him in there then?
Yeah, put him in there.
Gosh, all right. John with a clean runaway there. Thanks for ruining the game, Zach. I'm just kidding. Now John's up, and DJ gets to lead him off. It's the Jets, the lowly Jets, the Adam Gase ruined Jets. DJ, lead off John's first nomination.
Seems like there's an obvious position here. Sam Darnold needs a weapon. They lost Robbie Anderson. What is it? Jamison Crowder's the number one option right there. I feel like in order to give Sam Darnold a chance to – I fucking hate Adam Gase with a passion. I'm mad that I even have to talk about this team. But I'm going to give you – Judy's still on the board, so I'm going to give you Jerry Jeudy.
All right.
Oh, and I'm next. And just to throw a little wrinkle in here, we had John on to discuss wide receiver. So now we're going to really put him to the test here and see who he likes better, because he told us who he likes a little bit better. But I'm going to throw it out there because they're both on the board. So you went Jeudy, DJ?
Yes, sir.
I'm going Lamb, and good luck, Zach, because I think it's going to be one of those two.
All right, John, hear me out. I'll sell you on this because I know you like this guy.
Now, remember, you're talking to Adam Gase. So slow down and make sure you enunciate, because I lose focus really quick.
Good one. All right. Well, what have the Jets been missing for I want to say the last at least 5 years?
Coach.
Oh,
everything.
Okay. Yeah. But what is the one position where it's God, they cannot do anything at this position? The one position they run a 3-4. All right, so I just gave it away. It's
no edge rush. No edge
pressure. They have
had
zero edge pressure. So I'm going to give you Kayvon Chase on here.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Gives you that outside linebacker position that can rush, maybe drop back into coverage if you need him to.
So here's my logic here. This is a super deep wide receiver class, and the Jets are going to be able to pick again and pick up still a wide receiver later on, not in the first round. This is one of the shallowest edge classes that have been around in a decade. I'm going to go Kayvon Chase in here.
Oh, what an upset!
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
not what Gase is going to do. Gase won't do that, but it's what he should do.
Zach, you're either lifting up the desk that you're sitting behind or you're doing cartwheels. I don't know which one it is, but I'll let you tell people if you want.
I just chugged the rest of my drink. That's how excited I was.
Well, and on the bright side, we're past pick 10, and John is still talking, sitting upright. I'm impressed.
Proud of you.
I'm leaning, though. I'm propped up, really, more than sitting up.
That's so great.
Like Weekend at Bernie's over here.
Yes, that's so great. What a great reference. DJ, you're on the clock with the Raiders, and if there's one thing about DJ, is he's just a slimy guy that most people want to punch. But if there's two things about
sexy guy that most people want to fuck.
Correction. If there's two things about DJ, is he thinks he's in John Gruden's head.
I am John Gruden.
So I love that you get to select for the Raiders here. And I love that I get to be the first guy, because I think that when you look at the Raiders and when you look at who's available, you know that John Gruden loves quarterback and he loves littering his team with playmakers.
This is tough.
And geez, we're going to still have both of those wide receivers on the board. I'm going to throw out Jerry Jeudy.
Nice.
Zach is...
Gosh, you know what? I want to throw out a guy that I like, but I don't think he's going to get picked, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it anyway. I really like Oklahoma's linebacker Kenneth Murray. I think he plays with a lot of speed and a lot of just downhill click and close, just attack the ball type of type of just playmaking that he can just really come down and make a big play. He's fast. I think this is something that John Gruden would like to have on his defense here.
I like it, but you're wrong. It's CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver,
wow.
Oklahoma. It is the perfect pick here for the Raiders. It's not close.
See, I'm gonna be wrong anyway because it's gonna be Jerry Jeudy.
Yes, come on, DJ.
I really wanted Herbert to be an option because of how much Gruden fucking hates Derek Carr, hates him with a passion. And I was surprised he would drop this far, so I was considering him if somebody said his name. I think John Gruden sees Jerry Jeudy is the replacement to Antonio Brown, the guy that he didn't have. He's the closest guy to Antonio Brown. I have to go Jerry Jeudy here. He's just that.
You do.
He's that replacement. I have to go Jerry Jeudy.
I love it, DJ. Thank you. I had so many picks in a row where I wasn't hitting, so I'm glad you did that. The other thing that I was going to, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
I got one, and it was the very first pick.
And it was one that we allowed you to have.
Allowed me to have it.
It was like letting your little brother play basketball.
That's so true. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. Here you go, DJ.
Thanks.
What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say that someone could nominate a trade, and I think I would have loved to do that, but we would have needed more booze. Like, it would have just gotten way out of hand.
I got my trade chart up.
I love it. I'm on the clock here with the team that John knows the most about amongst all of us, with the 49ers. So I can't wait to see, because he gets to lead it off here. So it's almost like I'm kind of leaning already towards what he tells me here. But we'll see. I'm going to get 3 nominations. So why don't you go? Oh, actually, Zach leads it off. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Zach,
what is this? You're forgetting about me over here.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. The Busch Lights are going down.
Busch lattes are going good, huh? All right. Oh, man. John, tell me if I'm overstepping here, but I feel like the loss of DeForest Buckner is a little bit bigger than everyone's saying. I know that defensive line is stacked, and they might be okay without him, but I think getting a guy like Javon Kinlaw in here is going to be huge.
Yeah, I like Kinlaw a lot. I think a big reason why they were okay with the DeForest Buckner trade is they had 3 guys, Ronald Blair, DJ Jones, and the other big guy. He's going to be mad at me. But
Solomon?
Anyway, no, not Solomon. He's waste. He's done.
Yeah.
Julian Taylor, sorry. But they got 3 guys that can kind of fit in. None of those are Kinlaw, though. So that's a great pick if he's there. But I do believe the 49ers' number 1 player on their board is going to be Jerry Jeudy, because he fits what Kyle Shanahan wants more than any other wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb's my personal favorite wide receiver, but he is not the cookie cutter type that Shanahan wants. So I'm going Jerry Jeudy here. I don't think that he'll be here at 13 in the real draft, but that's where I'm going.
Or this one.
He's not here.
The alcohol caught up with you.
Oh,
he just went last pick.
Yeah, because he was supposed to pick CeeDee Lamb. That was where
I love it in your head. I love it in your head that you were right about the last pick.
Yeah, that's exactly what my wife says. So I'm going. That's fine. I'm staying with an Alabama wide receiver. I'm going Henry Ruggs here because, again, another wide receiver that fits what Kyle Shanahan wants to do: speed and routes, much more than the yards after the catch with CeeDee Lamb. I'm going Henry Ruggs here.
I will go. This is tough. I'm going to go with my favorite cornerback in this entire draft, a guy who's going to get up in your face, has good ball skills. I'm going to go with Christian Fulton here. I'm going to go with Fulton. I think he fits the 49ers defense pretty well.
I like it,
right,
DJ.
Here's my take. It's my pick. And Jesus, this is a tough call because when I did my latest mock draft, I had the 49ers taking 2 defensive players in the first round and no wide receiver, and 49ers Twitter just unleashed on me and said how wrong I am. Jesus, now I'm just scared to pass on the wide receiver now. And I feel like if you would have nominated CeeDee Lamb, I probably would have pulled the trigger. But you know what? I've had just enough Busch Lights in me. I'm sticking with my guns. I think they're going to try to replace that defensive line. Zach, Javon Kinlaw it is.
You beast.
That was who I was going to – I mean, that's who I was going for, but fuck it.
Hey, man, when you know, you know.
When you know, you
when
know.
You know.
What's our linebacker
Well, Zach,
situation
you're up again here. You're picking number 14 with the Buccaneers. John, you get to lead it off.
All right. I'm swinging for the fences here, guys. I got to play catch up. I think the Buccaneers are in win now mode. They go out and they get Tom Brady. And while this position should never be drafted in the first round, the glaring weakness that they have is at running back. So I got them taking DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia. Immediate plug and play makes that team better day one.
I think
they trade back and get him, but I do like that pick, running back early.
I like it. DJ, who do you got for a nomination?
I'm trying to look at the best offensive lineman here. You've got Tom Brady.
Was that a hairball? What was that?
I was just me talking. you got Tom Brady, right? You need to get him time because I think it was I don't like Tom Brady anywhere, but they need to add guys up front for him so he has time. Otherwise, he's useless. He isn't running. He isn't moving. I really want to go cornerback because they had one of the best run defenses in the league. But at this point, I've got to go offensive lineman. But I think the top 4 are off the board.
Correct.
Becton, Wills, Worst, Thomas. So I'll go with I don't know. Let's go Josh Jones out of Houston.
Ooh, nice.
Josh Jones. DJ, I'm going to nominate the guy you put out last pick. You talked about that run defense. I think they need help with the pass defense. I'm going to go Christian Fulton. That's my nomination for Zach.
Oh, man. So one of you were reading my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not like a huge Ronald Jones fan. I'm not a huge Peyton Barber fan, but I think there's enough there that they are going to pass on a running back early in the first round. John, I think you did say something about them trading back, so I could see something like that happening. What's that?
He gets a half point.
Yeah, you teased me, man. I got all excited.
So I got to do it. Here, I'll tease someone else too. And about their secondary, I do not like their secondary at all. So I do think secondary is like one of those picks that they could end up taking. But again, this corner class is deep. We talked about it with the wide receiver class. So I don't think they go corner this early. Also because they kind of drafted 9 corners in like the last 4 years or something like that. So I don't think they go corner here. I love Josh Jones to the Buccaneers at 14.
Ooh.
I will say this: he's going earlier. He's going to go earlier than everybody thinks. I think 14 is pretty early, but he is a first-round player.
I agree.
My favorite thing so far about this draft is the wide receivers haven't gone like most mock drafts have, because the wide receivers never go like people predict. They always are overvalued.
Oh shit! Speaking of wide receivers, DJ, did you hear the news about the Buccaneers pick at 14? Did you hear the news?
No.
Vikings might be trading up to 14 and hopefully grabbing CeeDee Lamb.
Congratulations.
Ooh. Yeah. Suck it, Packers. They suck.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference. We're going to just win the division and just continue to do what we do.
You've won the division once in the last 10 years.
Oh, I like where this is going.
I think that's like 6 times in the last 10 years, but okay.
No, we got more division wins than you do.
In the last 10 years?
Yeah.
You're smoking so
we got
more.
We got more division wins in the history of the NFC North.
Oh my God!
Suck it.
We've got more Super Bowls.
Shut up.
He's going to keep going. Just move those goalposts.
All right, where are we at?
Man, was there a team that played both of your teams in the playoffs by any chance this year?
I can't remember. I have no idea.
Okay, my bad.
I didn't see the playoffs.
Taking shots from behind the fence.
God, I was
sniping them down.
I was so hammered during that Vikings 49ers game.
Yeah.
But your anger was over in the first quarter.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
who were you talking to there?
shots kept getting flown back after that Vikings game, man. After that first quarter, I'm like, shit, this is done.
Oh shit, where are we at? Broncos?
We're on 15. The computer's getting a little fuzzier with every pick. John is up. Broncos are on the clock. DJ gets to go first.
Oh, good, because I have nothing.
I already have my mind made up. I hope somebody can figure out pin the tail on the donkey and nail this bad boy.
Oh, please let him fall.
I'm just gonna say Derek Brown.
Wait, Derek Brown's gone, DJ.
Oh, he is?
Probably not who you think, by the way.
I mean, Derek Brown went to the 3 overall.
I didn't scroll up high enough. Fuck, I'm in a lot of trouble at this point. Because I'm scrolling.
I was waiting for DJ to just yell, pass.
No, we're good. CeeDee Lamb's on the board, isn't he?
CeeDee Lamb is on the board.
I don't like that pick. I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs.
Damn it.
Is he Jewish? Is that a Jewish Henry? I didn't know that.
I'm going with Henry Ruggs. Add that speed guy with Cortland Sutton.
What John said something, because I'm up next for my nomination. John said something that's throwing me off, because I wanted to go Ruggs, but then I'm like, CeeDee Lamb's out there. I should definitely go with him. But now I'm thinking he's got to go somewhere else. But I'm going to give him the option, and maybe I'll let Zach swoop in. So DJ said Ruggs. I'm going to say Lamb. Zach, what are you going with?
Oh man, I was hoping you'd pick someone else. I didn't want Lamb because I don't think he goes wide receiver here with the little teaser he just threw out there. There's another position. I don't want to say corner because I mean there's a couple corners I'm going to go with, but I don't think they go corner here because you're getting AJ Bouye. I think it kind of makes up for losing Chris Harris. Man, I'm gonna go Patrick Queen here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice. I didn't see that one coming. It's not Patrick Queen.
I didn't even think about
I'm not
that.
taking Patrick Queen.
They need that playmaker on the inside at the second level. That's why I went there. I was hoping it would be, but man.
I like it, and the rationale is perfect. Like I don't have a problem with it, but I think John Elway's been successful everywhere and everything he's done in life except at picking quarterbacks. And you're down to Drew Lock, who he's got to have something else out there. Now, he finished the season strong. Cortland Sutton, who I think is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL already. Yep. Absolutely love that kid. But I think the perfect pairing with him is pure speed. And I'm going Henry Ruggs. And I think Ruggs has a shot to be the number one wide receiver picking in this draft. I love this kid. He is clean. He's not just a speed guy. Only one drop the entire year. Henry Ruggs, perfect fit for the Broncos.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping would drop to me. I knew it was going to be Ruggs.
I was looking at the defensive line position, but I just had to pull it on Ruggs.
Man, that's a tough break. There's a couple of glaring things so far in this mock draft. I like getting multiple opinions on everything and seeing how it plays out, because never in my wildest dreams would we be at pick 16. Justin Herbert and CeeDee Lamb would still be on the board.
Oh, did you see my latest? Did you see my latest 7-round mock? You see where Herbert ended up falling?
Yeah, but I did.
Where?
Down to the Patriots.
I don't want to ruin it.
Oh God, you almost made me nervous.
It's 23 there.
The mid-20s.
But that's the thing, though. You look at teams that need quarterbacks. Once you get past the Panthers, it's the Raiders, and then you've got your ghost falling. Maybe the Buccaneers get somebody for the future, but they're in win now mode. And Tom Brady signed a two-year deal. Like there's not. This isn't the usual pecking order at quarterbacks with needy teams. It just doesn't exist right now.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to start falling a lot more than we expect. I mean, people are going to be like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. I can't freaking wait. DJ, you're on the clock with the Falcons. I'm between two players, actually three players right now in my head.
I have no idea who I'm going to pick.
God. I'm between a quarterback and an edge guy. I'm going to go with the corner. I'm going to go with Christian Fulton. I'm going to throw him out there for
I highly suggest you pitch me because I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Well, Zach, you get to make the next nomination.
All right, because Christian Fulton was my pick, I'm going to pitch you on C.J. Henderson, and I'm going to tell you right now, this guy is one of the best man-to-man cover guys. He's someone that's going to just get in your face and just basically make it just uncomfortable as hell trying to run around. I like what he does, sticking to his man. He's got good trail technique, his ability to, accelerate, and when he makes a mistake, he can flip and turn, and whether it's a speed turn or whatever, he's going to be able to get back into coverage and make a play on the ball. His instincts, his anticipation are phenomenal. So I think that's who they choose to replace Desmond Trufant.
What school did he go to?
Florida.
Perfect. Next.
Wow, that is awesome, man. I personally, I was thinking corner as well, but let's do it again. Matt Ryan, you want to win now? Coaching job is on the hot seat. You got to do something, or else everybody's going to be gone there. DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia. Why not pair him? Devontae Freeman's gone. Who's going to be your running back? Let's win now.
Is there anybody in here that's like Aaron Hernandez and has a chance to kill somebody?
Probably he's already gone. That would be Derek Brown, probably.
Because that's who I would choose. Because that person needs to just get rid of Matt Ryan, so he doesn't exist on the face of this earth. Because I hate that guy more than anybody in the world.
Oh, fair enough. And let me just say, Derek Brown's not a bad guy. He just suplexes people during the field. That's why. He's not a bad person. I don't want that getting out there. He's just very mean when he plays football.
Okay.
And hey, this is my case where I'm not just trying to pick the player where I think the person is going to select. Because if I'd have thrown Justin Herbert out there, DJ would have said, "Sign me up already." He hates Matt Ryan that much.
That's true. But still, at the same time, I watch probably more LSU football. I know Christian Fulton just as good as anybody who's watched a bunch of videotape on him. I love this fucking cornerback. I don't know what it is, but I have to go with Christian Fulton. That guy's just a fucking playmaker.
I knew it, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You have to. That's my pick. You have to do it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't like it.
I'm up with the Cowboys. Zach, you get to lead it off.
All right. Sounds good. I'll lead it off.
Okay. Sounds good. Lead it off.
I'm gonna go back to the hole here. I'm gonna go C.J. Henderson. I think losing Byron Jones is huge. They gotta get another man-to-man guy here. So I'll throw out the Florida kid, C.J. Henderson.
I like it. It's my turn next, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this is, the Travis Frederick kind of retirement. That's going to cause problems. Joe Looney played center there last year, but just kind of a backup. And then, of course, you have the injury to Williams, their guard as well. So I think this is the earliest spot where Cesar Ruiz can go. He fills both those needs and is a perfect fit. I have a first-round grade on him, and in a draft where there's not a lot of depth interior-wise, especially at center, I think he's going to be pushed up in the first round for sure. And I think the Cowboys is kind of the first spot that he's going to be able to go.
Oh, my God. I hate this game.
All right, we'll go home, DJ. No one wants you here anyway.
I'm already home. I went with I'm going to go with a pass rusher at this point. Let's just go AJ Epinesa.
Oh my gosh, what a tease! Because all right, I'm going to do my latest mock draft again. Cowboys picking here. I've got Henderson going right before him, and I've got the Cowboys taking Epinesa. Because I literally think if one of these two are on the board, they go with it. Obviously, John, not to discredit you, your reasoning behind Ruiz was solid. I'm eliminating you. You're not getting a rose here. Man, this is tough between Henderson and Epinesa. I love both these guys. In my mock, I have Epinesa, but man, they need secondary help so bad, and they lost one of the best cornerbacks in the league. You're plugging in C.J. Henderson. I'm going to go Henderson here.
Okay, Florida.
Strong.
Who was that? Was that Zach?
Yes, sir.
Dude, I have just disappeared. DJ has 2 points since I've been selected.
Let's fucking go.
That don't make sense.
No.
We need to recount here.
Wow.
Zach, I have picked your nomination the last 3 times.
Dude, you would have picked mine every single time if I would have picked Tua and Burrow.
That's so true, actually.
Get a room.
Oh,
get a room.
He's actually upstairs. Zach, you are on the clock. Number 18 with the Dolphins. They got this pick in the Minkah Fitzpatrick deal. With the Steelers, it should have been a bigger pick, but the Steelers kept winning meaningless games. I'm sorry to rant, but I'm an upset Dolphins fan. John, you get to lead it off.
Yeah, I think this one's, you got your quarterback, and I can't believe this guy's still on the board.
Yeah.
My wide receiver, number 1, CD Lamb. Perfect fit here. Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm just going to throw out Justin Herbert.
No, don't just throw out anything.
Oh, is it my turn?
Just throw out anything. You guys got a chance here.
Whose turn is it anyways? It's me?
Yours.
Yeah, you.
I see it doesn't make sense to me. I want to see how many quarterbacks you can draft, so I'm going to throw in Herbert.
Double down. I love that. I get to be next. All right, so I'm gonna pickle here because in what I think is going to happen, there has to be one of these offensive linemen left, and that's where I want the team to go. I'm with you at this point, but man, I can't get behind this idea. Man, if CeeDee Lamb was there, I'd be like jolly because of the opportunity of being able to pick him. But I just don't know that they can go wide receiver. Their wide receiver room isn't that bad. Actually, if you look a little deeper into it, it's actually pretty good. I mean, maybe I'm talking homer's here.
Is Devontae Parker a starter?
Christ.
All right. I don't want to get into the Devontae Parker podcast, so I'm just going to rest my case that I think it's an above-average group. I'm going to throw it out there despite what they did. They picked up Shaq Lawson. They picked up Kyle Van Noy. They picked up Emmanuel Ogbah. What do they say, though? What's the draft thing? You can never have too many great edge rushers. Let's throw out AJ Epinesa.
God, Ben gets another one. I was like, there's one I really want to get in there. I'm going to tell you, hang on real quick. So when we were recording the Dynasty Draft Room podcast last week, we did a 3-round mock draft. And we get to this pick here, and we're like, me and Matt Hicks are sitting here contemplating, like, all right, do we go CeeDee Lamb? Do we go edge rusher? At this point, Kayvon Chason was still available. So we went Chason, and we hit the Raiders, and we ended up going, I believe it was like Kenneth Murray or something like that. CeeDee ended up falling to 21 to the Eagles, so it could happen. I'm like, there's one person I would pick over CeeDee Lamb, and I'm like, someone's got to pick it, right?
Love it.
If it wasn't Epinesa, it would have been CeeDee Lamb, though.
Wow.
All right, another one on the board for me. I'm going to write it in here real quick. Thank you guys.
So I'm not an Epinesa guy. I struggled with a second round grade on him.
Ooh. Yeah, you either are or you aren't. I personally, man, I just actually I clipped a little video together of him because I'm like, gosh, there's just too much shit talking about him. I feel like I gotta, remind people of what he's actually all about. And yeah, I fell in love with him last year. I still think he's really, really good. I know his production wasn't necessarily as efficient as it was last year, but I love him as a prospect.
Plus, he was on our podcast earlier this offseason to talk edge rushers. I mean, I just pull at the heartstrings. That's what I do.
And go, man.
John, you're up on the board. The Raiders' second pick at number 12. They went Jerry Jeudy. DJ gets to lead it off. Jesus Christ. Could they go CeeDee Lamb? Just get them both?
Just grab both of those guys. Fuck. This is a tough one. I really want to. I want them to take an edge rusher. I think they need a speed guy to get around the corner. At this spot, what do we already have them taking Jerry Jeudy with number 12? Fuck. I'm very bad at this. I'm going to go with Yetur Gross-Matos off the edge.
Oh, I'm so glad you went that. I get number 2. You guys, did you hear the report? I love how the reports have changed from who went to visit to who went and FaceTimed. The Raiders just FaceTimed with Justin Herbert like a day ago.
Shit.
He's still on the board. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert.
I'm an idiot.
Jeudy and get Justin Herbert? Put him on the board.
Oh, man. All right. All right. So there's 2 guys I want to go here because I think I think they need linebacker. And I think I nominated, who had the Raiders last time? DJ. And it was Jeudy or I think Kenneth Murray. So I'm going to go Kenneth Murray again here for the Raiders.
But yeah, I think that's who I had. Kenneth Murray going to the Raiders several times, and they signed Littleton, who I like a lot from the Rams. But I still think they need another linebacker. But I actually wanted Jordan Love here. But I'm going quarterback. I think the Raiders definitely are on the last days. But yeah, I'm going Herbert, quarterback to the Raiders at pick 19.
Fantastic.
I forgot Herbert was on the board because I was going to take him in my first fucking pick.
Because I wanted Kenneth Murray there. If someone else took a linebacker there, I would have taken Justin Herbert just to spite DJ.
Right. You had to do it.
What an idiot.
DJ. Well, the nice thing is, DJ, you can't miss this one because it's your pick. So you're in the clear here. Nice. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. God, they have a lot of needs. Where could they potentially go here? I get to lead this one off.
They already took a Kuda.
You know what? Let's get this great. Oh yeah, we should recap that. So the Jaguars picked at 9, took Jeff Okudah. You know what, man? I had a guy in mind that I'm going to change it up because you talked earlier, as I'm kind of playing homerism here. You talked earlier about the Jaguars maybe not being set at the quarterback position. So Jordan Love is still available. I'm going to nominate him. Zach.
CeeDee Lamb's still on the board, right?
Oh my God, shit.
Yeah, all right. Give me CeeDee Lamb here. They need that guy, that alpha dog. They don't have that alpha dog. D.D. Westbrook's not that. DJ Chark's not that. They need someone that can make those plays, go up and get it, be physical, all that fun stuff. Give me CD here.
Man, I'm going to go with a player who has not been nominated yet. I'm going Grant Delpit, who I think is the clear-cut best safety in this draft. I think that he'd be a perfect fit for the Jags. Yeah, Grant Delpit, LSU, baby.
No, I'm serious. Like, no one talks about Grant Delpit no more. Like,
it's a hot topic right now.
He just fell off the face of the earth. He's so good, man.
Yeah. Somebody talked about him missing tackles, and it caught on big time, which if you watch the game film, you don't see it near as bad. Now, is he as good a tackler as McKinley? No, he's not. But ball skills, he's got it in spades. And I think that's what the NFL wants.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this before. There's a couple of different things here. I've talked about how I don't think Gardner Minshew is a guy on their first pick. I thought I could see them going quarterback earlier when Justin Herbert was still available. They desperately need some kind of wide receiver, but is right now the time to grab a wide receiver with Gardner Minshew if you don't have the quarterback that you want there? I'm not sure. And yeah, Grant Delpit's a great safety. I just think, I don't know, safety isn't a position that you desperately need. So I think I'm going to go with the quarterback position. I'm going to go with Love.
Yes, you guys. That's 3 in a row. So, like, if you're keeping track at home, I picked number 17, and then my guy got picked 18, 19, and 20.
That's all right. I'll get this one for sure. There's no doubt about this one.
Yeah, because I'm picking.
Dude, no, I'm saying I'm going to get this one right. There's no doubt about this one.
I mean, I think we're all going the same position, aren't we?
Yeah, and there's one guy on the board here. I swear to God, if no one were to nominate him, I'd leave the podcast.
Well, I don't want to screw this one up and not give the layup again. So here's CeeDee Lamb. Here you go.
Oh, CeeDee Lamb's still there, huh?
For time's sake, I'm gonna just cut it short, you guys. It's CeeDee Lamb. This is the biggest slam dunk. We talked about layups earlier. This is the slam dunk.
So I want to go ahead and give T. Higgins as a no.
No. I've had the Eagles mocked at wide receiver in every single mock I've done. I swear to God, if CeeDee Lamb falls to them and the Eagles were to pass, there would be no Eagles fans left. There would be an uproar in Philadelphia. Throw CeeDee Lamb on the board. You're right, Zach. You win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was contemplating when I was talking about how CeeDee Lamb fell here when we were doing the Dynasty Drafting podcast. I was contemplating between him and one other prospect. It wasn't a wide receiver. I want to say it was a safety. I think it was McKinney. Yeah, I think it was McKinney. And Matt was just like, "Dude, you're an idiot." No, I'm just putting CeeDee Lamb here. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Sweet, I get the Vikings here.
Yeah,
like I said,
I love this. I'm so excited for this.
Zach, this was completely random. I swear, dude. This was completely random.
I'm gonna
Why didn't I get the 49ers then? What the hell?
You
get the 49ers at 31, John.
Or John, sorry.
Yeah, it felt perfectly.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jesus, I just got really excited for no reason there.
No, I love the high-pitched voice. I got excited. I was like a puppy.
Well, John,
all right, so here we go. Yeah, for the Vikings, Zach, let's go, man. I think a lot of fans are going to want wide receiver, but I think because CD just left, there's a little bit of a tier. I think you can go wide receiver later, but you guys have a need at edge, and there is one guy left that has a first-round grade for me at the edge position, and that is Yetur Gross-Matos, edge from Penn State. I think he's a perfect fit here.
Who's up?
EJ.
All right. I've watched this team get burned by Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams for fucking years. Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers and Greg Jennings.
He's not picking anybody you say now.
You know what? It doesn't matter. I've watched this team. Devontae literally murdered every cornerback on the Minnesota Vikings.
Remember when Xavier Rhodes picked it up? Or no, Trey Waynes picked it up at the end of the game. Adams was the receiver that was being thrown to. Yeah, I remember that. Game over.
I remember Devontae murdering every cornerback that the Minnesota Vikings have ever had. Xavier Rhodes is literally dead now. He's
not even on the team no more.
He had to leave the team to get the fuck away from the Minnesota Vikings or from the Green Bay Packers with Devontae Adams. It's almost so. I just want another cornerback to come in, get murdered by Devontae Adams. I want to say Trayvon Diggs so bad, but I'll give you AJ Terrell.
Oh, you took my guy.
Yeah, of course I did.
Damn it. So who was your guy, John? DJ ranted so long that I forgot.
Yeah, I went Yetur Gross-Matos.
Oh, God. So you guys went there. I'm going to give him a wide receiver just for the sake of giving him the option. Let's go with Jalen Reagor.
Oh, man, I was going to say there's only one wide receiver I would even considering taking above the two guys that were just picked there. Actually, that's a lot. I'd take Reagor over AJ Terrell. But Yetur Gross-Matos, I agree. That's a huge need with Everson Griffin leaving. And Gross-Matos gives them just really good versatility just to be able to rush from, whether it's a wide nine or whether it's at a 5-tech or whatever. I mean, I think that guy can do a lot, and he's around one grade for me as well.
Yeah, that was my slam dunk pick. I listened to your podcast, and man, I wanted to throw him in there so bad. Speaking of that podcast, I was a lucky winner of your 3,000-page draft guide, and I am just crazy about that thing. We didn't get to do this early in the podcast, so I want to do it now. I'll throw it in there.
Don't do it.
Zach, talk about a little bit real quick about your draft guide and where people can find your work.
Yeah, if you want to head over to dynastydraftroom.com, all my work's over there. I run that site over there with Matt Hicks. He's the lead of the Debbie team there. It's been a lot of fun, but that draft guide was a lot of work, and like I said, a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. And I watched over 220 prospects. I think it was 226. I think there's 334 pages total in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, if you want to head over there, dynastydraftroom.com/NFL draft guide. Man, the thing's only like $9.99. That's like 2 cents a prospect. So it's definitely worth it.
Awesome.
And no, I hope you all enjoy it because, like I said, I had a lot of fun writing it. Had a lot of fun watching these guys. Learned a lot along the way too. So no, I definitely appreciate all the support for sure.
I wanted a handheld copy, so I started printing it on Sunday night. We're recording this Tuesday. It's expected to get done Thursday morning. It is that long. It is that in-depth. It is great. I almost want to just give you $10 and let someone else have my free one because it's legit. I'm not even giving you shit right now. It's so good, so I recommend that to everyone.
I appreciate
and John,
it,
obviously. Oh, for sure. John, it's your pick, but you also should plug your work right now as well.
Yeah, and I do want to say, man, Zach is one of I got started covering the draft whenever I first got into the, sports broadcasting and writing business. But Zach, he does more in-depth detail work than almost anybody in the business. He's a guy that I reference and I use his stuff all the time. So I cannot recommend that enough. What he does is very, very, it's legit, man. If you like the 49ers, 49ers Rush podcast, and if you like fantasy football, Eat Sleep Fantasy, those are the two places I'm at.
Hey, I'll say this about Zach. He has a lot of time on his hands because he knows his team's going to suck every year. And he has to just concentrate on the next year. I actually am surprised Ben doesn't know a little bit more. He does some studies. He's the most knowledgeable on our draft. At least Zach goes all in. Ben, I expect more out of you. I expect these magazines type things, these big
you're right.
320-something page books like Zach, because that's all you every year. That's all you have. Week three, when the Dolphins have already gone 0-2, start it for the next year. You need to be like Zach.
You're so right. Zach probably should be starting his stuff in like December, January. There's no reason for me to not start looking at prospects early September.
Yeah, exactly.
No, John, I appreciate the love, and DJ, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
It is.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
You didn't need to say probably. It is. That is. Oh God. Let's get back to pick number 23. John, you're picking for the Patriots. DJ, you get to lead it off.
This couldn't be a more perfect pick for the Patriots. He's out of Wisconsin. He's white. And his name is Zach Vaughn. Like,
he's got a good name too. You forgot that part.
Nobody could fit any more perfectly in this Patriots defense. Adam.
I like that pick. I think he's going to consider it. I'm next. I'm going to throw out Kenneth Murray. That's been Zach's guy a couple times already. I think the Patriots, they have a couple of needs now. It's like one of my top 3 teams to watch here the rest of this offseason in the draft. But, man, they can get Kenneth Murray. They can get a guy to fill in a position in need. We just watched Derrick Henry in that playoff game run right down their throat. They need help at linebacker. Kenneth Murray's still on the board. Let's do it.
I like that.
No, two really good picks, and actually 2 picks that they would have been my picks. So you 2 are jackasses.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, man. So I'm looking at like their other positions of need here, and there's a couple guys that they need to get more of a pass rush inside, which means I'm going to go with Neville Gallimore out of Oklahoma, who I think is probably one of the more pure pass rushers from the interior. He's someone that he's a real gap shooter, someone that took a big step forward this year. So I'm going to go with Gallimore here.
All right, I like it. That was also my nickname in college, the old gap shooter. But I'm going to go Zach Bond. I think that was a perfect pick at edge. That was the guy that I was hoping somebody would nominate. And, man, DJ, props, sir.
Yeah, DJ, good pick, man. That's who I would have went there, too.
DJ, you got lucky. He just remembered the first name he heard. He didn't think about the other two. He didn't even consider them.
I know.
And DJ, you're on the clock. So
I'm a Longhorn, man. So the OU guys, yeah.
No, we can't. Oh, man, I should have done
it. and that's how much I like CD Lamb. He's my number one wide receiver, even though. So, yeah.
That's saying something there.
Gosh. So this is a little bit crazy because every single mock draft I've had the Saints go wide receiver, and now I'm just a little bit hesitant because of what they did there by signing Emmanuel Sanders. I know he's not young anymore, and you could get a guy to help out here. Do you guys hear babies?
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, yeah. It must be feeding time. I need a beer. She needs some milk. All right, one of us is going to win. Probably going to be me. Jesus, I don't know what to do with this pick. DJ, I'm going to throw it out there anyways. I'm going to go with the LSU guy, Justin Jefferson.
Ooh. All right, well, that leaves my guy, Kenneth Murray. They need linebacker help, and Kenneth Murray's my LB2, so give me that pick there.
John.
Am I about to make a mistake? I got to double check. Okay, I am taking I want to make sure this person wasn't already taken. I'm taking the LB1, and that is Patrick Queen.
Yes, I was trying to go with Queen too.
I think he's a perfect fit. He's already from freaking LSU. It's New Orleans. It's a perfect fit, perfect scheme fit as well. So, yeah, I'll take him, Patrick Queen.
Exactly what John just said. So you're going to go Jefferson, right, DJ?
I'm going between the two linebackers.
Yes.
I have a linebacker mocked here, but what John just said made an incredible amount of sense. So I'm going to go with Patrick Queen now. I changed my linebacker.
When you said LB1, John, are you not counting Isaiah Simmons as a linebacker?
No, he's a hybrid / badass.
All right,
just wanted to make sure. I love it.
I actually think his best position is going to be nickel backer / strong safety. But yeah.
He fits in Arizona then pretty well, huh?
Yeah.
Dude can do it all. I get to pick Zach's player here with the Vikings, and then he gets to pick my Dolphins player. So I'm looking forward to this. And Zach, you get to lead it off with the Vikings. What a dream scenario for you.
All right, I don't want you to screw this up. Like, really do not want you to screw this up. I swear to God, I will break my quarantine and come down to Miami and just you're down in Miami, right?
Yeah.
Not even close. He's so far from Miami. You literally.
I'm coming to Wisconsin and I'm gonna whoop you. All right, because you're a closer drive than DJ is.
Yeah.
Much closer.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a lot easier for me to come jump the border here. I've really liked this guy's ball skills. I think he covers man-to-man well. I think if you ask him to play zone, he's going to do that just fine. Give me Jeff Gladney here.
Ooh, Jeff Gladney. All right, I'm going Jalen Reagor. I thought that's where he was going. You got a huge need. You got your Tier Gross Matos earlier in this draft. You got to replace Stefon Diggs.
I'm gonna go on a rant here in a little bit if you keep talking.
That's okay. I'm excited.
Hold on, is it my turn?
All right, so Reagor's up there. DJ gets a nomination here.
You gotta piss him off, man.
I mean, I already did my whole rant, so I'm gonna go back with the same guy I already went with, and I'm gonna go take a piss. So I'm going with AJ Terrell.
All right, here's the thing. I love the AJ Terrell pick because I think they need help, obviously, at cornerback. But, Jesus, you talk about teams that have taken a lot of cornerbacks in early rounds. Vikings are right up there. They don't hit on anything right now. It's been rough. However, we have them taking an edge rusher at pick 22. We're at pick 25. What are they going to do? Man, you can't just let Kirk Cousins pay him all this money and not be in win now mode, and you can't just trot out there with Adam Thielen. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
You got to think about the future, Zach.
You guys should all see John right now. He's just tilting his head back.
That was my Charlie Brown laugh.
I'm literally going to say Rager is my pick, and now I'm not even going to say anymore. I'm just going to turn it over to Zach and let me have it.
All right, man. This is like one of the worst picks you can make. I like Rager as a prospect, but my God, if we take a wide receiver in the first round, I'm probably going to lose it just a little bit. This wide receiver class is so freaking deep. We have pick 58. I mean, that's a spot where you could land some really good wide receivers. I mean, you could probably still find. I mean, the way things are going right now, you could maybe even find like T. Higgins there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, KJ Hamler, Isaiah Hodgins, Quentin Stevens. They're all going to go later in the draft. Is my point, and they're all really, really good. I just don't want them to take a wide receiver in the first round. I just think there's better things you could take, and one of them's a corner. We lost.
I know.
What's his name? Xavier Rhodes, who what's his nuts over there, just trashed.
You're lucky he's team.
Trey Waynes is gone. Trey Waynes is gone. I mean, you're left with Mike Hughes and Holton Hill basically that are running the show. I think Mackenzie Alexander's gone too.
Yeah,
like all these guys they're gone. So they need a corner really, really badly. I'm glad they addressed the edge position early in this draft here because they need to do that as well because they lost Stephen Weatherly and Everson Griffin. So they're desperate for another edge rusher. Man, I think they got to go corner here. And if they take a wide receiver in the first round, I don't hate it. Like that's their third position in need, but I really, really, really want them to draft a corner here.
Do you think Zimmer will take a 5'10" corner like Gladney though?
I do.
Because I like Gladney, but the 49ers are in the same situation. They don't like short corners.
I do just because of the way, like, just his type of game. I think he's that guy who has, like, tremendous ball skills that, like, plays with, like, he doesn't have, like, great length, but he plays like he does have a lot of length. You know what I mean? Right. Like he's one of those guys that is just going to make a really good play on the ball. He's got a long arm that's just going to make a play in the passing lane. I like what he brings to the game. I do like AJ Terrell too. A lot of people are talking about Jalen Johnson, so I could see them going like different types of corners than Jeff Gladney. Jeff Gladney is just like the next ranked corner that I have on my big board.
Hey, Zach, do you know how I know that you don't have coronavirus and you never need to get tested?
Oh, my God.
Because you just went the last 90 seconds without taking a breath. There's zero chance you have any respiratory issues.
I told you the rant's coming. The rant's coming.
You warned me. Well, now I'm going to rant on you if you don't take my guy because you're up with the Dolphins. John, you get to make the first nomination.
Man, the Dolphins, they've got a lot of holes to fill, if you will. They got Tua already in this draft and AJ Epinesa, but they're still hurting for sure. And I think that cornerback is a huge need. I just think it's a big need no matter what. Every single team needs more corners. And I think Trayvon Diggs, the Alabama Patriots connection is huge. And now you have the head coach moving on. Yeah, you've heard it. Anyway, I am going with Trayvon Diggs.
DJ, nomination.
All right. Well, I like that pick, but you've got Tua Tagovailoa, which I think is his last name, and you need to give him another weapon, a young weapon, outside of Devontae Parker. Who's that guy going to be? I'm not a T. Higgins guy. I think is Jefferson still on the board?
Yes.
I'm going to give you just an option to grab Justin Jefferson. I want him personally, but I can't be selfish here. So I'm going to give you the option to grab Justin Jefferson at this pick and give Tua another weapon. Alabama to LSU connection, nothing better.
And Zach, I don't want you to not pick my guy because of what I just did to you, but I swear to God, if the Miami Dolphins exit the first round this year without an offensive lineman, I might just chalk it up as a failure. The fact that all these top guys are gone, I don't care. When you have needs, you have to address them. I understand best player available, but Jesus, they got to get one of these guys. There's a few players out there I like. Some people are going to say they need to take a running back here. I'm not in that camp whatsoever. I have to nominate Austin Jackson right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I got Trayvon Diggs, I got Justin Jefferson, and I got Austin Jackson. Oh, man. See, I knew you were going to go Austin Jackson, too, and they need a tackle really bad. I mean, Eric Flowers is going to kick inside. He's going to be the left guard. Michael Dieter's going to be the right guard.
Yep.
The Dolphins are so bad.
They're so bad.
Fine, give it
They're so bad.
Oh, my God.
But, dude, their defense, they kicked it up a notch with their defense here. Son of Van Noy and Byron Jones and whatnot.
Van Noy is going to be exposed in this team.
Huh?
Van Noy is going to be exposed for the Dolphins.
Oh, whatever.
Cross that bridge, week 3, DJ.
Gosh, man, I'm gonna do it just because I said this on my Vikings rant. I got to go Austin Jackson just because I love Justin Jefferson. He's my wide receiver 3. He's my wide receiver 3, so I think he's really good. And I had a hard time not picking him, but Ben's right though. I mean, you got to get one of these tackles, man.
I love the boost of confidence. I love that you didn't hold the grudge. John, you were up with an interesting pick here. Every time I do a mock, I don't know what the hell to do with this.
Nobody does.
And DJ, you get to lead off his nominations.
I do? Yes. This is where I need to phone a friend.
I know my pick here.
Here's that. I have an opportunity here. You talked about Grant Delpit being the best safety in this draft. He hasn't been taken. I don't believe they thrive on safeties. They need a safety. I think Grant Delpit is the pick for the Seahawks at this point.
Gosh, I like that, and I have an edge rusher in mind, but now I just want to add fuel to the fire and give them another safety who's been talked about a lot. Let's go Jeremy Chin.
Oh, I love Jeremy Chin.
Damn right you do.
All right, so I think safety's a decent spot to go, but I think that, Quandre Diggs and are you guys making faces over there?
I don't even have my camera on, so
I'm just kidding. They got Quandre Diggs, they got Bradley McDougall. I don't think McDougall's like anything special or nothing, so I think Grant Delpit would be a solid pick. I don't want to give away a pick here, but I think the biggest need is the trenches. I'm going to go with my guy, one of my favorite prospects, Ross Blacklock from TCU.
Blackhawk, yes.
Man,
he's such an athletic guy for the interior. I think they need that.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody went offensive line, which I think is what they should do. But the Seahawks are stupid. They just let Russell Wilson run around and it works.
That's true.
But yeah, a very solid picks all the way across the board. I'm going safety though, man. Grant Delpit, I think is a perfect one. Or if one of you guys would have nominated another 3rd round running back, that would have went well here because that's what the Seahawks love to do.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Cam Akers would have been the shoe-in.
Yeah, he might be rated too high.
Shit. I love that insight. That is A+ work, John. DJ, you are on the clock with the Ravens, and I get to lead you off. And let me do a quick sell job here. No one loves edge rushers from Alabama more than the Baltimore Ravens. And who's on the board? None other than Terrell Lewis, who I wasn't as big on, but then all of a sudden Zach came into my life and told me about him and told me how much he liked him. So I got sold on him. I bumped him into the 1st round. Why I know that you won't take him is because he wears like number 22 and he plays edge. So I'm fucked. Zach.
Oh, man. All right. You're right about the edge class. I do think they
22.
I do think they go edge here. So I'm going to go with another one of my favorite prospects out of Michigan, Josh Uche, who I think fits that type of style that the Ravens play. Can rush from that deep wide 9 that can really get some good depth and athleticism and go with speed to power extremely well for an athletic guy. So I think he brings a lot of versatility rushing from that deep outside position.
Ooh, but I love these picks so far. I'm going to stay kind of outside of the box as well. Marshall Yanda just retired, one of the best interior guys in the history of the NFL, I believe. Love that guy. And with the strong rushing attack, you want to make sure they don't take a step back. I have them going with my number 1 guard, pure guard, and that's Jonah Jackson out of Ohio State. Love this kid. Have a 1st round grade on him. Very clean. And I think he can step in and just kind of replace Yanda day 1.
Tough picks, DJ.
I like the point he made about the offensive line here. You've got a lot of, their run game their run game in general. It's all about Lamar Jackson. It's all about Mark Ingram. It's all about moving the ball 10 yards at a time on the ground. I do like,
We have
I do like Terrell Lewis. I like Terrell Lewis a lot as edge rusher. They're about that defense, right? They run and they get after the quarterback and they stop the run. That's what they do. So both those positions are extremely important to them. I will go with the most important position, I think, outside of quarterback, and I'm going to go with Terrell Lewis.
Man, that was an upset. There's no way I pegged you on that one.
I didn't either.
I love it.
I wanted something more exciting.
Well, I'm on the clock here with number 29, the Tennessee Titans. Zach, you get to lead me off.
I just want to read out the score right now. Ben's leading with 10. DJ and John's got 5, and then I have 8.
Perfect.
Ooh.
So basically, John and DJ, no offense, guys, but you guys are out of the running. I gotta catch Ben here.
The fact that you thought I was ever in the running in this game makes me question your rationale completely.
Yeah, the vodka diets might be catching up to me tonight, I guess.
Nice.
Who we got here?
Final score. Zach, you're up with the Titans. You get to lead it off with the first nomination to me.
Oh, all right. You and the baby. I see. I got a pick for you here. The Titans. What do they need?
I don't know.
They're such a solid team. Yeah, they're such a solid team.
Such a weird team.
They had to add on the offensive line again because they lost what's his dick.
Their right tackle,
yes,
but they have Dennis Kelly, who played really, really well in spot duty. But
he's solid. I really don't think offensive line's like the biggest need. I'm gonna go with Neville Gallimore here.
Nice.
I'm gonna do it. I think that's the pick. I think he like I said before. I mean, just a solid pass rush from the inside. Gap shooter, John.
Oh. I love it.
Old John.
I like that. I like the reference. That's where I was going to go. Damn it. I'll do this. Let's stay at the interior defensive line position, and I'm going to go with the highest ceiling player at the position because they don't have a need, and they want those guys to swing for the fence type guys. I'm going Jordan Elliott. Interior defensive line out of Missouri. I really do believe he is one of those, not necessarily boom or bust players, but if we look back 3 years from now, I think he could be one of the better players from the interior pass rushers.
DJ, I like both of those so far. You got to bring the heat here.
I may be completely wrong, and I haven't looked up anything on Tennessee, obviously, right now, but all I remember thinking about Tennessee year after year is they need to add in their secondary. So I think Trayvon Diggs is still on the board.
Oh, geez.
I would add there.
Man, that is adding a wrinkle to things because I agree with that. The whole trade up and take Adoree Jackson early a couple of years back. It's panned out not probably the way that they had wanted to. I really thought someone was going to nominate old Blacklock, Ross Blacklock here. But since they didn't, I'm going to stick with I'm sorry, John. And I can't believe I'm doing this because I'm giving my opponent kind of a leg up here. I'm going to go with Gallimore out of Oklahoma. Just ranked a little bit higher. I just think it's maybe a little bit more realistic at this point, but I understand the value that all three of these players can get. So I want to give you all a pat on the back and an A for effort.
Thanks.
Man, I love that Jordan Elliott pick, though. Not too many people are talking about him, John. I just did, like I said, with Epinesa, I did a little clip on Jordan Elliott. And that kid can play, man. That kid's good. He's really good.
And again, he left. He was a Texas guy, so I remember watching him play in high school, and then he transferred after not getting playing time as a freshman. But his ceiling it's stupid.
Yeah, he's someone I actually mocked to the Cowboys coming back to Texas. So I definitely in the first round too. So I kind of like that pick.
Zach, this is your ultimate redemption pick here.
You guys better pick
the
shittiest
pick for the
picks.
Packers.
They have a big quarterback need here. Jacob Eason. No, I'm joking. Let's go. Justin Jefferson still on the clock somehow. I can't believe there's only 3 wide receivers gone in our draft. I do think that they could fall just because there's so many wide receivers, but Justin Jefferson is a first-round wide receiver that is very clean. He is the definition of like he's just a double. You're not going to strike out. You're not going to hit a home run, but you're getting a starter for a decade plus, and he catches everything. He runs all the routes. Justin Jefferson, I just think, makes too much sense here.
Yeah, that's a tough one. DJ, who are you going to nominate?
Well, I mean, I get a lot of arguments from people talking about how the Packers aren't going to take a wide receiver because that's not their MO, and if they do, it's going to be one of the big athletic guys. But they already have Devontae Adams. They brought in Devin Funchess for real cheap. And obviously in a Matt LaFleur offense who's only been there now in his second year, you don't know what their trend is. You don't know what they're going to do. They never were involved in free agency 2 years in a row. They've been some of the first guys. I think this year, the first team that you really heard about in free agency early in the morning. I think they go out of their comfort zone. I like Laviska Shenault.
Dicks. I was going to go that route as well. Now you kind of got me lost. I remember hearing Trayvon Diggs is available. I know that they've got some pretty solid cornerbacks, but someone mentioned earlier you can never have too many. I'm just going to throw Trayvon Diggs out there as an option at cornerback in case you don't want to go with a wide receiver.
Be better off going linebacker.
Should have had hindsight.
DJ spitting fire. That was like the ultimate your mom line at the
It really
end.
was. Yeah.
Like you throw something out and he just throws like your mom.
Had to.
You could hear the depression in my voice, and DJ basically your mom to me.
This is one thing I know is Green Bay Packers. So
one thing I know is your mom.
My mom. I don't even know my mom.
I'm sorry. Just that
kidding.
last comment was brought to you by Tequila Hornitos. Representative.
Well done. Well done. All right, Zach, how are you going to break DJ's heart?
Oh, man. All right, so what do we got? We got Justin Jefferson, Laviska Shenault.
Trayvon Diggs.
God, man. I got to go with my not my number one wide receiver, but my number 3 wide receiver. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson here.
That'd be my choice.
Love him, man. If the Vikings are going to take a wide receiver in round 1, I hope it's him.
Joe Burrow.
DJ, you like it?
Yeah, no, Justin Jefferson would have been the guy that I took at that spot, but I do love Laviska as well. I just don't think Justin Jefferson's going to get here personally.
Yeah, seems crazy. Also crazy. Man, this is the moment that John's been waiting for. He didn't think he was going to get a 49ers pick. He just didn't know he was going to have to wait until pick 31. So with that, DJ, you get to lead off the nominations.
Oh, I get to go first. Who did they take in the first pick?
Kinlaw.
Kinlaw? Yep. Who do you guys want right now, you think?
Don't say it. Don't say it. I got your answer right here. I got your answer.
I'm going to go back to the cornerback position. I talked about it earlier. Is fucking Dickhead still on the board?
Yes.
Great. Diggs, yes.
I'm going to go with Diggs again for the 50th time.
And just so I don't get crap from 49ers fans, I'm going to throw out Shenault just so I can throw out a wide receiver and say I'm not crazy.
Oh, man. All right. Give me Xavier McKinney.
Richard Sherman is old, and Devontae ended his career also this year.
Yeah, well, they need safety help more than anything, so throw McKinney on that team.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest McKinney guy. I do like him. I think that he'd be a good fit here. But they did bring back freaking Ward, Jimmy Ward, Mr. Glass himself. This is rough. This is rough. I think cornerback is probably the biggest need. I was hoping you were going to say A.J. Terrell, who I think is a perfect fit in this defensive scheme. But I do love Trayvon Diggs' ball skills. I have a second-round grade on him, but I think that it's a fit. I was hoping somebody would say Cesar Ruiz. I think he'd be ideal. But I'm going Trayvon Diggs here, cornerback from Alabama.
I got one.
All right, so this is this last one is here to lose or tie here, to lose or tie between me and Ben.
So if Ben wins,
I love it.
Then y'all tie.
If even you win, John, he wins.
Then I win.
Zach I have to win this one.
And he gets second pick, and I get first pick.
You're trying to DJ, you go with what you think is the best pick, buddy. You don't have to be bullied into choosing sides.
DJ, I'm not drunk enough to not
listen,
drive.
DJ, your mom and dad both love you. It's not your fault. Whoever you choose to live with, it's going to be okay with everybody.
I don't know if it is.
I love this.
You know what, John? I'm just happy, John, that we let them win something for once in their lives.
Boom.
I'm sorry, didn't John just beat you in the playoffs?
Doesn't matter. We cheer for teams that are actually winners.
We're back on this, John. We're back on this.
Pretty sure you lost this year,
Doesn't
just
matter.
like we did.
Just historically winning teams, historically shitty teams. It's just what it is. It's 2-on-2. It's great franchise versus bad franchises. It's how it is. It's how it works.
I'm awesome. Glad that you two were able to go back and forth on this because it let me solidify my pick. I am between two people, and geez, it is such a tough bet. But I think that if in today's NFL, you can avoid getting that top tier running back. But what scares me is we won't have a single running back going in the first round if DJ doesn't take one. But hell, I'm going to open the door for Zach, see what happens. I'm going to go with that help on the interior offensive lineman. I'm going to go with Cesar Ruiz.
All right, you made it easy for me because I was trying to decide between DeAndre Swift and Cesar Ruiz. So give me DeAndre Swift.
Oh, geez. Damn it. John, can you just take John Taylor and give him an option at running back so that Zach just doesn't automatically take this?
Man, there's not really – I think linebacker is a position of need for them. They could do that. But, yeah, I'm going to go Patrick Queen here. He's still on the board. Oh, no, he's gone. My bad. Gone. Kenneth Murray. He's still on the board.
Linebackers there.
There he is. Kenneth Murray. I'm going Kenneth Murray, linebacker, Oklahoma.
I like that pick.
I can't believe my boy's still on the board.
I know, right?
I can't believe Justin Herbert wasn't selected for the Green Bay Packers.
Such a great point, too.
Well, he's picked for the Raiders. We couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, he was. Never mind. This is a lot of good. Okay, so we've got DeAndre Swift. We've got Kenneth Murray. Who was the other third one?
Cesar Ruiz.
Sounds like I'm not going to get picked.
Yeah, there's good points here because the Chiefs' defense was terrible against the run last year. They need to add positions or add on their defense in general. I just don't think – I hate to be the one. I honestly think if you would have taken Jonathan Taylor, I might have taken over. I think you've got Damian Williams is similar to DeAndre Swift, so it would have been the same type of running back in that offense. So I thought maybe Jonathan Taylor, the Ohio State running back, would have been a better pick in this position. That was
really misleading, by the way.
What?
The way you worded that. I get what you're saying, but you made it sound like Jonathan Taylor plays for Ohio State.
No, I said, Jonathan Taylor or the Ohio State running back, which I'm blanking on his name right now.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. I've been drinking. Would have been a better running back in the Chiefs position.
I need to pick so bad.
I'm going to go with Kenneth Murray here.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. I fucking hate you.
Oh, look at that.
That boy. Way to get in there, John, and take that from. That is beautiful.
Just for shits and gigs, what would have been the tiebreaker?
Oh, man. I come up with one, but I have to pee so bad it's clouding my memory and clouding my creativeness.
This is a great podcast, honestly.
Yeah, this is fun.
We just need catheters next time. You guys go for catheters? You guys cool with that? We take a piss break at like 6:20?
Just wear a diaper. Be a man.
Yeah. What today?
I got a bunch of
boys.
Size 5. I think I could fit.
Oh my gosh! I'd love to stay in chat.
Sympathy laugh.
I almost peed even doing that. Like I said, I would love to stay and chat more, but I'm going to piss myself, and I need to put this child away, as you probably heard through the last 8 to 10 picks. So once again, thank you, Zach. Thank you, John. This was awesome. Loved it. Thank you, DJ. You were here as well.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out their work. Go back. They both do a great job for not only just specific teams, but also in the draft in general. We've had them on for positional podcasts. They do a great job. We love having them on every year. So check out their work. Check us out on Twitter at LoadedBox. Check out our website, loadedboxpodcast.com. We're available everywhere. Subscribe, rate, review. DJ, send us out.
Bye.